governance protest and embrace dialogue. During the nationwide broadcast, the president assured Nigerians that his government is focused on good governance despite the social and economic challenges confronting the nation. He urged the youths to shun all forms of misinformation and miseducation about government's insensitivity to their plight, as the present administration is putting concrete structures in place to crystallize their dream for a better life. The president also urged Nigerians to choose hope over fear, unity over division, and progress over stagnation, even as the national economy is recovering.
That drive this protest, and I want to assure you that our government is committed to listening and addressing the concerns of our citizens. But we must not let violence and destruction tear our nation apart. We must work together to build a brighter future where every Nigerian can live with dignity and prosperity.
In the 20 minutes nationwide address, the president took time to reel out key economic policies his government has put in place to rejig the economy, while also embarking on major infrastructure projects across the country by completing inherited projects critical to the nation's economic prosperity, including roads, bridges, railways, power, and oil and gas development.
In every state, each comprising 500 housing units. Our goal is to complete a total of 100,000 housing units over the next 3 years. This initiative is not only about providing homes, but also about creating thousands of jobs across the nation, as well as stimulating economic growth. We are providing incentives to farmers to increase food production at affordable prices.
The president also encouraged youth to embrace and take advantage of such programs which are specifically targeting their competitiveness in the global market, such as the Digital and Creative Enterprises, the Consumer Credit Corporation, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, and the Skill Up Artisan Program, the Nigerian Youth Academy, and the National Youth Talent Export Program.
To the 36 states to expand livelihood support to their citizens, while 600,000 nano businesses have benefited from our nano grants. An additional 400,000 more nano businesses are expected to benefit. Furthermore, 75,000 beneficiaries have processed to receive our 1 million micro and small business single-digit interest loans.
While commiserating with the families and relations of those who lost their lives in the ongoing protest, President Tinubu called for a stop to the bloodshed, with an assurance that the government will not stand by and allow a few with a clear political agenda to tear the nation apart to destroy the country. The police has thwarted the End Bad Governance casualty figure released by global rights group Amnesty International. Force spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi discredited the claim made by the rights group that security agents killed 13 protesters during the demonstrations that started on Thursday. Adejobi also said a total of 681 suspects have been arrested so far for various violent crimes during the protest. The suspects were arrested in Abuja, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Nasarawa, and Sokoto states. Adejobi said a policeman who was reported murdered on the first day of the End Bad Governance nationwide protest miraculously survived. He added that 9 police officers sustained various degrees of injuries during attacks by protesters. He said while security agents did not kill anyone during the protest, despite provocation, 7 persons died in various circumstances unconnected to the police. The FCT Police Command has debunked reports alleging that its operatives killed a teenager during the ongoing End Bad Governance protest in Abuja. Reports allege that police operatives killed a yet-to-be-identified teenager in Kubwa while protesting on August 3rd. In a statement issued by the command spokesperson, Josephine Ade says its operatives are not responsible for the killing of the teenager, as operatives deployed to the axis were not issued lethal arms, but only anti-riot equipment not capable of causing the death of the teenager. According to Ade, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Benneth Igwe, has ordered an investigation to ascertain the remote cause of death of the deceased, just as he called on well-meaning residents to provide the command with information to aid the investigation. She expressed the condolence of the CP, assuring the family of the bereaved and the public of justice as effort is ongoing to apprehend perpetrators of the unfortunate incident. Away from the protest, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Hamed Musa Dangiwa, says the federal government is set to establish building materials manufacturing hubs across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. The proposed locations for the hubs are Shagamu in southwest, Aba in southeast, Warri or Asaba in the south-south, Ajaokuta in the north-central, Kano in the northwest, and Gombe in the northeast. Dangiwa assured that the chosen locations are secure and strategically placed near existing building materials markets, stating that the hubs will include facilities like power, water, and housing for workers to ensure a conducive working environment. According to him, the hubs will manufacture various building materials such as roofing, sheets, ceilings, tiles, and doors. The minister emphasized the ministry's readiness to collaborate with investors interested in funding and managing these hubs, highlighting the ministry's flexibility in accommodating different concepts. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has given universities and other tertiary institutions in the country end of August to disclose all admissions conducted outside its central admissions processing system, CAPS, before 2017. The public communication advisor for JAMB, Fabian Benjamin, said the directive is aimed at enhancing transparency and fairness in the admission process. Benjamin said the board would clear all illegal admissions before 2017, but wouldn't accept any student again after the August window was closed. According to him, the decision marks the end of the condonement of illegal admissions window, which previously allowed institutions to incorporate unauthorized admissions into the system. Benjamin highlighted concerns over institutions colliding with candidates to falsify details for illegal admissions, which has led to fraudulent participation in the national service organized by the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. The advisor added that for the 2024 admission cycle, candidates who will be at least 16 years old at the time of admission will be considered eligible, stating that this decision follows the directive from the chairman of the 2024 Tertiary Admission Policy Meeting, who is also the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Marman. Now, the Return 1862 is a celebration of the cultural heritage and a tribute to the legacy of King Kosoko and his followers who played a significant role in shaping the history of Lagos. Speaking at a press briefing ahead of the week-long activities to celebrate the Return 1862, scheduled for September 8 to 16, 2024, the Oloja-elect of Lagos, Prince Abiola Kosoko, and some members of the family say preserving the family heritage and culture of Lagos is of great significance, hence the lineup of activities to celebrate their root.
Is designed to help the indigenous people of Lagos to project their history, where we can discuss it, start creating journals that people can make reference to, that yet unborn children can also go back to and read about their great-grandfathers and their progenitors of who he or she is claiming to belong to. The third event is an interdenomination traditional religion ceremony. Why we call this, why we decide to make it that name, is because Lagos is formed with three people. The traditional group is of three, most important. One is the Oshibo. The second one is our known as the Irene. While the third one is the Okala. These are the three groups of people that has a traditional deity that hold Lagos together.
He also gives insight to Oba Kosoko's exit from Lagos Island to Ekpe and his return.
Kosoko left Lagos and moved towards Langbasa, his father's land, where it is known as the only slave farm at a particular time. And from Langbasa, he started moving by the shoreline, resulting to the Etiosa, people that are found by the shoreline of the lagoon. That name resonates till tomorrow. We're celebrating the grand return of Kosoko to Lagos again. So you can see both weeks and days after.
The return 1862 is not just a celebration, but also an opportunity for the Kosoko descendants to reflect on their past, appreciate their present, and shape their future, as they believe it will help foster unity, promote cultural exchange, and contribute to the economic development of Lagos State. The Office of the First Lady of Lagos has held the 4th edition of Lagos Praise with the aim of fostering unity amongst the body of Christ in Lagos and to appreciate God for his faithfulness, kindness, peace, and development of Lagos State. Adetola Kayode has the report.
It was indeed an atmosphere of praise and thanksgiving at the Lagos Praise 2024, the 4th in its series, as different song ministers, groups and schools led the congregation to the Lord's presence with songs in different dialects and languages, thanking and praising the Almighty, the author and finisher of faith.
Final stage.
The First Lady, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, says the praise and worship session, which started out as a monthly program, is an avenue and platform that guarantees access to God. And what a better time to seek his face for the state and country. Dr. Sanwo-Olu, confident that God is in this, appreciated the role of Lagos Praise over the years in fostering good neighborliness and unity amongst the different Christian denominations across the state.
To the glory of God and the benefit of mankind. Indeed, our God is worthy to receive glory and honor and power. He has created all things. We are confident that our God is always with us, and he will continue to do wonders in our lives, individually and collectively, as it states.
The praise session with the theme, Sing and Praise Him for Victory, taken from 2 Chronicles chapter number 20, 21 to 22, had various clergymen and ministers of God in attendance, including CAN chairman in Lagos, Bishop STV Adegbite, and the wife of the Deputy Governor, Oluremi Hamzat. Adetola Kayode, OTV News.
Now, in Nigeria, widowhood comes with a lot of burden and disadvantages. These include maltreatment and discrimination. This report by Ayola Adelisa takes a look at the plight of widows and how they can be supported to live meaningful lives. Her report.
For many women around the world, the devastating loss of a partner is magnified by a long-term fight for their basic rights and dignity. Despite the fact that there are more than 258 million widows around the world, widows have historically been left unseen, unsupported, and unmeasured in our societies. Today, as armed conflicts, displacement, and migration leave tens of thousands of women, newly widowed, and many others whose partners are missing or disappeared, the unique experience and needs of widows must be brought to the forefront. with their voice leading the way. Worldwide, women are much less likely to have access to old age pensions than men, so the death of a spouse can lead to they have to support themselves and their children.
A lot of cultural challenges face these widows. Nigeria, in particular, in certain states in Nigeria, we all know widows are treated very badly. The stigma is still there. The marginalization of widows is still there. The culture, the forcing widows to get married to husbands that are not theirs, forcing the children to forfeit what is their father's. Property rights for the widows is a policy that needs to be enforced in Nigeria.
More than ever, this day is an opportunity for actions towards achieving full rights and recognition of widows. These includes providing them with information on access to a fair share of their inheritance, land and productive resources, pensions and social protection that are not based on marital status alone, decent work and equal pay, education and training opportunities, empowering widows to support themselves and their families, also addressing social stigmas that create exclusion and discriminatory or harmful practices.
Women are women, whether you're widows or you're not widows. What we want is enable environment for women to be able to trade. We have a lot of successful widows that are even doing better than people that are not widows. So all we just want is gender inclusion for women. Whether you're a widow or you're a businesswoman, a woman in Nigeria should benefit from this country, should have access to business and enable environment to trade.
With unfair family laws and just really abhorrent traditional practices that sort of put them in a bad way, there's more that can be done. So I think yes, there's more concerted effort, and perhaps there are opportunities for private sector to also support government, and of course working with CSOs to do something a bit more structured and a bit more aligned. But
furthermore, governments should take actions to uphold their commitment to ensure the rights of widows as enshrined in international law, including the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Ayola Adelisi, LTV News.
Moving on to sports, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Nigeria's D Tigress of qualifying for the quarterfinals of the women's basketball at the 2024 Paris Olympics. D Tigress will be the first African team in basketball to play in the quarterfinals at the Olympics. The president commended the team for their uncommon demonstration of resilience, teamwork, and diligence. President Tinubu also applauded the coach and managers of the team for their dedication. The president enjoined the players not to rest on their oars until the final victory is won. President Tinubu assured the team and the Nigerian contingent at the Olympics of his support as they fly the nation's flag at the global sports event. Now, stakeholders have lauded the five-a-side football facility built in Ikorodu to promote sports development in the area. The standard AstroTurf pitch was unveiled in Selewu area with a 20-team tournament which attracted football clubs from Ikorodu and its environs. We have details in this report.
The maiden five-a-side football competition kicked off with the launch of the newly built Foot and Cap Sports Complex in Selewu, Ikorodu area, with dignitaries gracing the commissioning of the facility. His Royal Majesty Oba Semiudin Kasali, the Adeboruwa of Igbogbo, performed the grand opening of the complex, urging government to create the enabling environment for individuals and organizations to replicate such facilities across the state. The monarch stated that the facility will engender communal engagement for the youth to stay away from social vices while assuring optimal use to enhance development and encourage talents to maximize their potential.
This will go a long way in easing so many things that is putting pressure on the society at large. The assurance being given by the Baale of this area and myself and all our personalities in this area that this place will be judiciously used, effectively used.
Director of Foot and Cups five-a-side competition, Taufik Fashanu, said the facility will promote sports development and aid talent discovery. Fashanu added that the complex will also have facilities for other sports, including basketball and lawn tennis.
Behind FNC Foot and Cups and Complex is just an avenue to create job opportunity and a recreational center for Ikorodu and Igbogbo as a whole. To be a platform for young talent, just not to Ikorodu or Lagos, but to the whole world as a whole. And we are hoping to tap them and then make them the best of what they can be.
Chairman, Ikorodu Divisional Football Association, Lukman Shonibare, described the facility as a big boost for football development in the division, adding that the IDFA will partner with the owners and organize more competitions.
This is a standard 5-a-side pitch, and this is a plus for us in Ikorodu. This is where we can develop that football. We are going to lecture most of the teams so that they can obey the rules, use the normal futsal laws of the game. Because when you use the futsal laws of the game, you are going to enjoy the game.
20 teams drawn from various communities in Ikorodu are participating in the 5-a-side football competition. In the opening match, Adeboruwa Football Club began their quest to win the tournament with a 6-4 victory over Anuoluwapo Football Club.
We just had luck against them because they played us, giving us a very tough time, difficult game. But thank God, lucky for the winner. We put in our best and God make our us come out of victorious.
Luck is not on our side. We actually play, but we are still coming from. We still have more games, like 3 games, and I know actually we are going to conquer.
The tournament scheduled to run for 6 weeks with climax in September. The top 3 teams and outstanding players will receive prizes and individual awards at the end of the competition.
On the foreign scene, Ukraine has announced the mandatory evacuation of children and their guardians from areas in the eastern region of Donetsk, where Russia has claimed advances. Donetsk Governor Vadim Filashkin said the bombing of towns and villages by the Russians fostered the decision to evacuate children with their parents and other legal representatives. According to the governor, 744 children and their families had to be relocated to 4 regions of Ukraine as Russia is actively using first-person view drones in the communities. Filashkin has been urging civilians to flee the region over recent weeks because of an increase in Russian bombardments. However, Russia claimed to have annexed the Donetsk region along with 3 others in eastern and southern Ukraine in 2022, despite not fully controlling any of them. For more news, connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms.